The online group from Anatomy Physiology about Lab 1. So I'll do a demonstration video for the palpation part in particular. What I'm looking for very simply is going to do static and you can do motion palpation on a couple body parts. First one is going to be the occipital, the external occipital protuberance found in the back of the head. That's the bump that we all have right back through here. All I want you to do very simply is say you found it, and when you palpate it, some people it might be a rounded knob, other people might have a slight hook on it. Depends on how big the person is or how well developed the muscles are in the back of the neck. We'll get into that particular spot and why it's there when we get into the axial skeleton. The second thing I want you to do is check the radial pulse. Radial pulse is found on the thumb side, just at proximal to the base of the thumb here in the carpal area. You're going to take two fingers, don't use your thumb, take two fingers here, you're going to palpate until you feel the pulse right down through there. Most of you have done this before, those of you who haven't, not a big deal. Check both the left and right side and just tell me whether you found it or not. If you can't find it, some people don't have as good a radial pulse, go to the ulnar side instead. It's going to be a little bit weaker, but there may be a pulse there as well for you to palpate. This is going to be static palpation for the external occipital protuberance and also the radial pulse. The last thing you're going to find is for motion palpation, you're going to check the vertebral prominence, which is going to bump we all have right at the base of the neck down through here. We're trying to determine is whether it is the 7th cervical, that's why it's listed as C7, because we have 7 cervical vertebrae, or T1, which is the first thoracic. We have 12 altogether. Again, we'll get into that when we get into the axial skeleton. So how you find this out very simply is this. You take two fingers, okay, on the VP, one on the VP, and the next one above it. You're going to follow a little space until you find a little bony part right there too. You're actually palpating the spinous process, which is the most posterior part of the vertebra sticking backward this way. So on my spine here, very simply, I have my bottom finger on my VP. I don't know which one it is yet. This is how we're going to find out. The next finger is going to go just above onto the next spinous process through here, and you're going to flex and extend the head. And what happens is, if that top finger loses contact with that spinous process, as you when you extend or flex the head, that is C6. C6 will slide forward, especially when you go back into extension this way. It's one of the most freely moved vertebrae found in the base of the neck. So if that is C6, you lose contact with the top finger, that means your VP is C7. Now, on the flip side, you have the two fingers there, and then you extend and flex the head, and you do not lose contact with that spinous process there. You know the top finger is on C7, which means your bottom finger or your VP is T1. Any questions on any of this, just shoot me an email. The lab's not due until the 8th, I believe. If you don't have any problem, just give me a quick email and I'll kind of demonstrate, or I'll Zoom and show you guys how to do it.